Right, we're gonna have a low spin off. Callaway Rogue Sub Zero. Anyone who's watched my videos or reviews of this one, this gives me kind of 2,200 down to 1/8 spin kind of model. Against Mizuno ST180. Also low spinning, weight packed forwards, those kind of ideas. On the course, I'm not going to deliver dry ball data because anyone who's watched reviews of both of these, those numbers are out there. Again, this one was around 2,000 to about 2,200, so Sub-Zero maybe a fraction more low spinning. On the course, which ones make pars, which one doesn't? Does it make a difference? Let's test them. Let's get stuck in. So we're going to try and hit the green, which is over here. From the winter tee, 310 yards, but it's straight downwind, so I should make it. I've just got to hit it accurately enough. Oh, this drive always looks crazy because you're literally hitting to a tiny little target. And it's actually more over there than you think. Hit that good. Left of the flag, but should be green bound. There's a danger with this wind that it could go too far. So Mizuno's using my 262 hashtag Titleist Pro V Titleist 3 practice ball for the Sub-Zero. Now the Sub-Zero on other tests definitely has more of a fade bias, so I'm gonna have to work that into my aim, but this is downwind and off the right, so I reckon I can still take dead aim with this. Oh, they're almost identical. That's actually more at the flag because it has just moved onto it. That could be close. Very different sounds. The Mizuno makes a louder, tingier sound, where the Callaway with its kind of carbon top does make that carbon sound. You know what I mean? That deader thud. To be honest with you, I can live with both. I know lots of good players do prefer the less tingy, but that's such a generalization. Pitch mark, 2 in fact, but I think that's my 262 Mizuno ball, front edge like I thought. And then just over here, so this is the Callaway, so really on the angle of the tee, they are like almost identical. Yet again for me the Sub-Zero has just kind of faded that little bit more, so one's a basic chip and one's a good 2-putt. Should we see who gets down in the least? Just a little heavy-handed on the chip. Will I be any better with a long putt? But, as you could probably guess, always slightly better with the long putt. Birdie. Pressure's now switched back on to Mizuno. 2 birdies. So for me there, the drivers were the same, different sound. We'll talk about the looks in a second. And definitely for me, I feel the 2 clubs, I'm gonna hit different shaped shots with them. So the game for me, which really is the same for you, which shape do I want to see? Which shape do I not want to see? So as in if the Rogue is that bit more fadey in the Sub-Zero and I need to hit draws, can I do it? There's the questions that I need to be asking myself. When it comes to looks, obviously the Mizuno in the blue is absolutely stunning with the white lipstick round the back. You know, it does look really good. The Rogue is classic Callaway though. You see a bit of the carbon pattern come through on top, the V line-up line, black with the slightly off black to darker grey face. They both look great. I think shop floor Mizuno would just take it. The Callaway does sit, I would argue, half a degree open compared to, if the Mizuno does, it doesn't feel like it's particularly sat open. I understand why the Callaway does that. Again, it's the better players club. They don't want to see it going left, often like a little taily fade, so I get why they build that in. But that for me is just, again, keeping that fade in there. Right, we're now downwind still off the right. So I'm gonna hit both of these hard, and the Rogue, I'm gonna try and not let it cut. If anything, I wanna draw it a bit. So let's see if I can do it. Right, Rogue, that was a good one. Little draw, almost slightly high toe, so it's that real low spinner. Can I stop this one from cutting? Not bad, pretty straight. Was a little lower in its launch downwind. I would want that going higher, really. So when it comes to tech, obviously the Rogue Sub Zero, you've got weight pack forward, you've got 2 weight ports that you can switch as well. When I put the heavier weight forward on this club, the spin is so low for me, it just doesn't work. But anyone out there looking for the lowest spinning driver you can get, this is a contender. You get jailbreak as well on the Rogue Sub Zero. Those 2 bars joining top and bottom, trying to strengthen faces, kind of keep that ball speed consistent no matter where you hit it on that face. The Rogue has the little steps on it as well on the top, which I don't see an increase in club head speed, but that's what they're there to try and do. You go and test, let me know if you do. Very light crown, all those kind of things in Rogue that we saw in Epic, and they've now come over onto Rogue. The Mizuno, we see the wave that we see on some of the fairways originally, really taking weight out of that bottom part and allowing them to pack it at the front to kind of produce this lower spinning driver. Interesting little footnote with Mizuno, as it seems that some brands that maybe aren't my best mates, you can probably guess, are shedding players, and it seems like Mizuno are picking up loads, which I think is quite an interesting testimony always to the respect that these players obviously have for that brand. It will be interesting how many of them do bag the driver though. There is a part of me that still feels that they might still use the brand that I don't know if we're allowed to mention because people get upset. They're drivers still, but then the irons go, that's a different story. But this one obviously produced with that lower spin player in mind. Be interesting if they do take this into the bag. The other thing with the Mizuno as well, you get the changeable neck, which you also get on the Callaway. Very changeable. The loss will come up down here maybe, and a little bit upright as well. So both offering their versions of low spin tech. Now this has surprised me. This is my 262 ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 14, 15 paces forwards is the Callaway Titleist practice ball. The Mizuno was a much better looking flight, higher. Now we could argue that the Mizuno might have landed and stopped. The low flight of the Rogue, these are links fairways, and even though we've had it wet here, they're not too bad, and they're super fiery running still because the grass isn't growing this time of year. Launch mono indoor data, Mizuno would have won that. That would have carried 265, 267. I reckon the Rogue would have carried 258. But with land angle then roll on this downwind fiery fairway, this one's won. Rogue has won there. If I had to choose right now between the 2 clubs, choose the Mizuno. I preferred the flight. I like the fact that it isn't so cutty. To try and draw that, I kind of could keep it straight, but I'd have to work so hard to hit the draw for me, which is where, if I was gaming Rogue, probably go for the standard for me. But look, one's done 1 for distance, long balls. How does that then equate to the next shot, actually making a score on this hole? 136 straight downwind. Get her at a feely wedge. Get up. Oh, a little bit short. Same club really. And this one should reach if I play it the same. Straight at it. Bloody putt. So not actually that much in it. The advantage the Rogue gave me definitely, I would say, allowed me to hit that a fraction closer, but will it play out in the end? You could equally argue that the fact that I had 2 goes at it in effect helped as well. Rogue go 2 under, 1 up. Yep. Oh, 2 pars. I always love the way these kind of play out. Golfers who are stuck in offices all day, like chatting on maybe some forums. 300 revs is a day of conversation, isn't it? There's so much more to it. And I think we're in a danger, and I'm a massive fan of tech, but I think we're in a danger of quite a lot of golfers getting lost in conversations that just don't need to happen.
Ryan Little.
2 pretty good hits, very similar flights. The Mizuno's definitely louder. Let's go and see where they finished. So this is the Callaway, and then the Mizuno has just kind of pipped it just up here. Again, this is a tiny difference. Back there actually was a bigger difference, I think, more on flight. Not much in those at all. Both on the fairway, which is a good thing. 135 and kind of 128, I think it was. So it's exactly the same situation, just reversed this time we had on the last hole. Wedge. A little harder this time. Oh, I just pulled that a little. You know, I don't. So I've put my banker in. I now know exactly what to do. Allow for a bit more wind off the right. The same distance. Get up. Now the Mizuno has the advantage. Well, I thought the Mizuno had done it. I mean, it is slightly closer, but hardly at all. I reckon if you pace that out, it'd be almost exactly the same. So yet again, it's a good old-fashioned pipe match. Even I get bored of pars sometimes. So which would I choose out of those 2? I would choose the Mizuno, reason being I like the fact that I can shape it both ways, where the sub in the Rogue just feels a little too fade biased for me. I think a fairer comparison, but the reason I've compared these 2 is I think low spinning seekers will compare these 2. For me, and we could do it another day, the Rogue standard against that Mizuno I think would come out much more even for me, and I would probably struggle to choose because their spin models would be almost identical, and the standard Rogue again I feel I can move either way, but this is the low spin off, remember. Looks wise, both good. I like the blue, but I mean, I'm a big fan of Callaway drivers, always have been. I've gamed them all my life, on and off. It does everything a low spin Callaway driver could do. It's just a bit more aggressive, I would say, in its low spin, which I think can harm many, but really help us the same amount, possibly. That's not true, it would harm more, but obviously not everyone's really going to be gaming this club, are they? Put comments down below, which one would you go for as well? You can see when we play the holes out as well, what little difference it makes. Let's just all make sure we're having the right conversations, can we? There's a lot of confusing messages going out there, which is fine, it gives me more content to make, but I just want you to get better.